And what's going on, guys? Kale here, coming at you with another video. Just for those of you that may be new to the channel, I am an endgame player, currently running 3 endgame accounts, 4 years, 3 years, and 2 years, all in the same alliance, and all running Doom 2 content. And this video here, I do have the little Agatha event pulled up, but this video is actually going to be in regards to Doom Tech, and just kind of the way I go about things on Kale, and which is my main account, and, you know, how I basically work the Doom Tech section. So I basically go in with 2 teams over here, and we're going to pull them up over here. And so the first team is the team I do for the first 2 nodes, and then I've got another team for the boss node. So the first team up here is the first 2, and the team underneath is for the boss node. So basically, I've got Kestrel and Doom, kind of the keystones to a successful tech team, and then pretty much everyone else is kind of filler. And, you know, there are obviously better fillers than others. Some are purely just bodies, others are good for like 1 turn, etc. So, kind of the next tier, you know, maybe nice to have for tech. Dr. Octopus, Lady Deathstrike, definitely, you know, nice to have characters. For the boss node, Ravager Stitcher, Star-Lord T'Challa, I think work really well together. And then Shuri is here really just for her defense up. Occasionally, depending on RNG, I have to sub her out on the second node. It really just kind of depends. So those are kind of the main 2 teams I bring in. Characters that I do sub in on the occasion. If we pull up my tech roster over here, and there's tech. So if we pull in the kind of tech subs, I also have Nebula and Ghost over here, and they just happen to be kind of developed characters for me. So there are options. You know, other characters you can kind of maybe consider. Minerva is definitely a good sub in. She's probably only going to last you about 1 match, though. I know some people have brought in Misty Knight. I haven't personally tested that. As you can see, my Misty Knight is kind of small, so she is not an option I personally use, but I could see her ability block being kind of, you know, important and useful. But yeah, so those are the tech teams. What I would highly suggest, obviously bringing these characters all to level 85, your highest gear tier possible. You know, in most of these cases, they are gear tier 15. There's a couple exceptions that I've taken to G16, like Lady Deathstrike, and that's because I am planning to use her in the global section. But anyway, so enough of me rambling. Let's just go ahead and jump into the tech nodes, kind of go over the strategy I use, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. Alright, so hopefully we don't have any crashing today, so we'll keep those fingers crossed. So first note here, like I said, we are going to go in with that first tech team that I mentioned right over here. And for me, I find it's important to kind of get those deflects up. So Dr. Octopus, I believe it's with his passive, is going to throw deflects up to who's ever adjacent to him, which is why I have Deathstrike and Doom. I want them to basically survive through the next node, and if they have deflects, they're going to have a better chance of doing that also. Kestrel doesn't need them as much. She's kind of more self-healing, self-sufficient. Dr. Octopus is also going to heal quite a bit on his turns, and you'll get a little bit of healing from Shuri. So let's go into the node over here, and we'll go about how I kind of, you know, work these nodes. I pretty much do the same thing every time. I run into more RNG, and we'll talk about that with the second wave, but yeah, still the same strategy. Alright, y'all, we are loaded in. So you notice here Drax spawns with Taunt, so does Bishop. I basically kind of keep the target on Drax. We'll do the defense up, it is going to help. I'd find what most people normally run into, the issue with this one is Surfer. And we'll talk about that. So I do the special, kind of reduces the speed bar. Surfer is still going to go, there's kind of no way around that. And it kind of depends on who he ability blocks. Really, the bad RNG is when he ability blocks Doom. The node is still doable with Doom ability blocked, but it goes a lot smoother if he's not. So anyway, so we're going to kind of keep targeting Drax over here, and we're getting the pings from Kestrel. Now, the thing that I think is really important is I want to clear this wave as quickly as I can, and the way I'm going to do that is actually by using Doom's special, and I know I only have one little Doom bot, but you see it kind of clears the field. So what we're then going to do is we want to get this taunt off of Bishop, and we want to basically start working down Cloak and Colleen Wing over here. So we'll do the ult, get that taunt off of Bishop. He'll also get a defense down, which is nice. One thing I will say it's kind of important not to do, because you basically want it for the second match, is don't waste Dr. Octopus's special if he's not ability blocked, because basically everyone is heal blocked, so there's no point in it. Now, I don't want, if she gets counter-attacked, a lot of the times the ultimate will stop, so we're actually going to target Crystal over here. We're going to get some bleeds and defense downs going. The ping got rid of Bishop, and then we're going to go in here and do a basic on Colleen. Got her taken out. Now, normally I would say save the time platform, but I don't want all the extra damage from Cloak or Silver Surfer. So we're actually going to time platform. This is going to heal up Shuri and get her back in fighting form for the next node. And this is kind of how you can heal without having to actually use health packs. So we've gone the 2 turns. We're then going to do the actual special, and we got a little bit of bad RNG because Cloak dodged. If Cloak doesn't dodge, it goes a lot smoother, but I mean, it is what it is. We're just basicing now. Basically, we are saving cooldowns, and we're going to keep our cooldowns kind of up for the next fight. We do have no heal blocks going on, so we will get a little heal off from Shuri, and this will kind of have everyone in fighting form for the second node. Now, the one cool thing about Doom is his attack is non-dodgeable, his basic, so being able to basic with Doom basically can wipe out Cloak. So that node, we had a really good RNG. Silver Surfer ability blocked the right character. Pretty much the best character for Surfer to ability block is actually going to be Kestrel, because Kestrel can kind of auto-clear that, and you don't have to worry so much. And, yeah. So anyway, we're going to go into the second node here. This one is... Personally, I find the second node a little bit harder to sometimes one-shot based off of kind of where you are cooldown-wise, and for me, this is normally the harder node. But anyway, we'll go into it, and I'll kind of still kind of show off what I'm doing. Like I said, I got lucky, and I didn't lose any of my first team. If I did, I would basically sub them out with my kind of backup tech characters. Typically, I do Nebula first, and then I follow it up with Ghost. Now, with this one again, we do have some kind of primary targets. We don't want Doctor Strange over here to basically do his special. So it's very important to have the special available for Lady Deathstrike, so you can kind of reset the turn meter a little. And ideally, you can have Kestrel's special available, which I didn't, but that's okay. We'll extend the debuffs. Doctor Strange is gone, so I'm now going to focus on Sharon Carter over here, and Sharon Carter is just about done with. and then we will kind of switch targets after that. After I get rid of Sharon Carter, my next target is going to be Cap Sam. And let's see. Alright, so we did lose our Kestrel. Definitely not good. We'll see kind of how we do. If we get to the point where it's looking like we are going to like wipe, what I'll do is I'll actually quit out of this and just kind of account it to bad RNG and just kind of take the loss of energy. I'd say this is important because instead of, having to fully heal my team, I would rather just kind of double tap the node with extra energy versus having to spend the heals. Because, ideally you want to save the heals for your push days if your alliance does that. Mine does. So ideally I'd like to have my heals kind of available. Because what I would do is, while I still be double tapping this, instead of resetting my progress entirely, I would basically just go back into the node with a fully healed up Kestrel. But anyway, we might be able to, we'll see, we might be able to kind of push through this. We'll kind of see. We do obviously lose a lot of damage without Kestrel and her ping. So if we do lose another character, basically what I'll do is I'll force close and kind of reset the match, and I'll be back and we'll kind of try a second attempt. But it does it messes up quite a bit with the, the damage output you're doing, because Kestrel does really provide a lot of damage. We're going to go ahead and get those defenses up. Hopefully, I wasn't actually even looking to see where that energy went. Hopefully the energy did go to Doom, because if it goes to Doom, we can actually kind of get the time platform off and kind of clean up some of this mess we got going on. So the energy did go to Doom, so that is a good thing. Let's go ahead and get Rescue down. We'll go ahead and do those 2 attacks, and time to do the special. That'll get rid of some of the minions, and let's see. We're going to target here. We're now going to do the special. This should actually get rid of Corvus Glaive, which will then trigger a secondary attack from Deathstrike. We'll then go ahead and do the ult. And let's save cooldowns for the next one. And so like I said, this is obviously a situation where we did have some bad RNG losing Kestrel, but if you're kind of playing the match, you still might be able to kind of go through. And, for me, I do, at least on Kayle, I don't refresh, or I don't heal as much on push day. Really, unless I get some, horrible RNG, Tech is really the only place I use heals, and it's currently Friday for me, so push day won't be until Monday. So I do have, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to kind of get back some raid heals, which, I'll get some on Sunday, and then again on Monday with the 2 new blitzes. But anyway, so we will heal Kestrel up. But let's go in with our second team. Now, this is my boss team, and the reason this is my boss team is because of Star-Lord T'Challa. Star-Lord T'Challa is kind of essential on this node because basically he blinds Doom. When he does land the blind with Doom, he's going to steal that 2 energy, and then Doom isn't able to do his ultimate. Essentially, it makes this node one-shottable versus having to 2-tap it. If you have to go in and 2-tap it, it's, again, not the end of the world, but on a push day, when you are trying to kind of maximize the raid energy you're using, the more one-shots you can do, the better. So we'll go in, and basically what we're going to do is we will start this match with, we can basically kind of work down Doom a little bit. I am going to get some defense downs over here. Just in case Miss Marvel taunts, I like to have those defense downs kind of available. We'll go in with T'Challa and get his special and land the blind. Since he landed the blind, he steals 2 energy from Doom, and that's really all we need T'Challa to do. If T'Challa happens to die now, it's not the most ideal thing, like which Mun did. but he served his purpose. So we are going to go in, and normally what happens is Stitcher normally gets a turn first, and he's able to do his heal. And the cool thing about Stitcher's heal is that it actually bypasses heal block, and so normally my T'Challa lives a little bit longer. But again, kind of one of those RNG things where T'Challa doesn't normally get targeted by Captain Marvel. Because T'Challa, when he spawns, he actually has a dodge, but Captain Marvel's ultimate is undodgeable. So that's kind of why he got a little bit of, like, semi-deleted. Normally that doesn't happen. Again, just kind of bad RNG. But let's go back. We're going to kind of keep working down on Doom. We need to get him kind of down to the yellow before he takes his next turn, because we did take that one energy, and this fight is just going positively horrible. Let's see. This fight is not going so well. This is some real bad RNG. We are probably going to have to 2-tap this one. We are probably getting ready to lose Stitcher over here. So let's see. So what I'll do now in this case, let's see. Yeah. So Doom got his platform off. No bueno. Kind of, I could have done two things. I could have either totally reset the node, or I could have quit out like I did. The reason I quit out is because I do still have my basically primary first 2 node team, so I'm going to use them instead. Still kind of basically a double tap, but since Doom has already used his ultimate, he's basically been neutered. And what I basically don't want to do is, if I had force closed, I mean, there is a possibility that I would have gotten the exact same RNG on that node, and I could have lost T'Challa again, and then it would basically become a 3-tap, if that makes sense. So our Deathstrike is dead, so we are going to replace her with Nebula, and I think we can go in with kind of the semi-beat-up Doom and the semi-beat-up Kestrel. I want to say my Doom is close to a time platform, so that should heal them up. We'll see, though. Hopefully I didn't just put my foot in my mouth, and yeah, we'll kind of keep going. But the overall, what I would say, takeaway from Tech is Tech obviously is still a hodgepodge. You know, there is no dedicated Tech team, so we're kind of trying to make the best of, you know, what we have. And what that kind of means is, you know, a lot of this is going to be very RNG dependent, and there are just going to be some days where you get awful RNG and, you know, you have a hard time clearing the first node. Then there's going to be other days where you get, like, the best RNG known to man, and you basically one-shot everything. I tried not to take it too personal, basically. It's just kind of really making the best of a bad situation, and that's kind of the nature of Tech. But anyway, so let's kind of keep going through. What I will say is, when you are talking about the boss Tech node in particular, if you're not able to one-shot, the goal basically should be to get Doom to do his ultimate, and once Doom does his ultimate, basically just quit right out. Because when he does the special, he is going to wreck your side of the field, and you might as well just quit, and what you can then do is either have a teammate kind of go in and finish the node, or if you still have quite a bit of your team alive, just go in for a 2-tap. And by quitting as soon as he does the ultimate, you know, you're saving yourself having to use heals, having to do refreshes, etc. Now, normally, as you probably just saw, I normally do the Doom special as soon as it's available after the time platform. However, when I only had those 2 characters left on the field, it would have been a waste of damage. And I knew this last wave was getting ready to drop. So I'd rather do it with more of them on the field and, you know, basically have a better chance of kind of clearing all of this out than using it on 2 characters. So I think it's also important to kind of pay attention situationally and kind of know where you are in the fight. So you'll notice I basically switched targets over to Maria, and we are now ready for the special. This should be a pretty good hit. And yeah, this fight is basically a done deal. So we're basically just kind of cleaning up at this point. I am going to save some cooldowns with Kestrel, only because the next section for Kayle is actually skill, so I want Kestrel ready to go. If skill is not your next section, so basically if you do bio and skill first, you can kind of blow through all of Kestrel's cooldowns, no problem. But if you're one of the Mutant Mystic folk, definitely consider saving the cooldowns for Kestrel to start your skill section. But yeah, so that is the tech section. That was essentially 4 raid attacks. We did have to double tap the boss node for bad RNG. But that is basically how I run tech on my 3 accounts. Obviously, this does depend on you having Doom, which for the most part, most people in my actual alliance currently do, and I think Doom is becoming a lot more available to most players in general. So hopefully you did find this tech video helpful. If you did and you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell. I do post videos fairly regularly here on YouTube, especially when there's something relevant going on in MSF. And as always, if there's any suggestions for videos you'd like to see made, always happy to do that as well. So thank you so much for watching. Hope everyone is having a good week. Have a safe and happy weekend, and take it easy.